This is the house of Thomas, where I stay. I arrived yesterday in pouring rain in Salamina, which is a beautiful village with a lot of history. So I'm standing in the garden and I'm enjoying a fantastic view from over here. In the middle of the mountains with a lot of coffee and banana plantations, and just visited the square, the old city. And now we're gonna discuss an interview also, Thomas, because he's been living here for a long time. Yes, Thomas, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Eddie.
I'm very happy to be here with you in your beautiful house in Salamina. We're gonna talk about what brought you to Colombia, what are you doing today, and a lot more. So please introduce yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Thomas Doria. I'm originally from the Netherlands, Dutch, 46 years old. In the year 2002-2003, I decided to leave everything behind. I was working in the stock exchange in the Netherlands.
Okay.
Wanted to take a sabbatical year and do what I really like to do, which is traveling. Very fascinated by the culture of the Latin culture. So I wanted to go to South America and travel all around. Actually, I'm also very fascinated by the indigenous cultures that are very strong connected to the nature.
Okay.
Actually, I traveled a lot in South America, but when I came to Colombia, I really felt that I was at a place where I should be. I love the country, I love the people. Later,
You're married to Colombian too.
I'm married to a Colombian, yes. That's
Beautiful
how much I
kids
like
as
them,
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids. And of course, I started to travel a lot. I found a lot of what interested in, in the high altitude mountains, the jungle. Got in contact with a lot of indigenous people.
You live in the middle of the coffee area, mountainous area.
Yeah, right now, yes. But then I met another Dutch guy here in Colombia, and we started a travel agency called the Una Colombia Tours. And our goal is to bring foreigners or people that are interested in Colombia to Colombia and show them the country, but not just touristic highlights, but we want to show them everything. We want them to live the culture, the people, the country, and everything.
And what attracts you in indigenous people? Why do you bring foreigners?
I already told a little bit. I'm very fascinated by the way they live and the connection they have with the nature. I think that we live in a society which is dominated by money, about overproduction, overconsumption, and it's not, well, we have a choice to do it, but actually we live in a society that almost says that when you're happy you need a lot of money, or you need to have a lot of consumption, or be able to do a lot of things. Well, when you go to those people, and they don't have a chance, but they live inside the nature, and they depend 100% of the nature. If they're hungry, they cannot go just with their money to a shop and buy something, or if they're sick, they cannot go to a doctor, and so they depend 100% of nature, and they also respect nature 100%. Of course, they go hunting, they go fishing, they cut the trees to build their groves and everything. But in the end, they have a very strong connection with nature, and I think that is one of the most beautiful things that you can find nowadays in a world that our Western world already completely forgot about that connection that we have.
I'm on a tour on finding out more about sustainability and how countries are dealing with it.
Yeah.
But you have a specific view on sustainability, don't you?
No, well, sustainability, I think it's a very big item. It's not, if you say sustainability, you immediately think of the environment, nature, and everything, but there's much more. I mean, they support local economies. I think that's very important as well.
Do you work with projects here where you can give like an example? You explained it a bit, but
yeah, we work with projects. We support foundations as well that do how do you say, social work. But the best thing is, I think, to try to support very small, local orientated tourism. Also try to take the people sometimes off the main road. Colombia, everybody comes to Colombia and wants to see the highlights. But if you combine those highlights with something that they don't expect, they don't see in their Lonely Planet or whatever in their guidebook they use, but they come back and they don't only feel that they had a really nice and unique experience, but they also feel that they supported something to that local economy or to that local experience that they had. Yeah.
For me, we discussed it yesterday, Ikigai, doing what you really like to do, purpose of life.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you're living your Ikigai by what you're doing here?
Well, I'm very happy with my job. Of course, running a business always gets a lot of stress. I think the pandemic also learned us a lot of things that even if you know it in your head, sometimes you're driven by a lot of other things, you know. Yes, I think that because of my work, I do things that I like, but what I really like is sometimes to reload my batteries, and that's maybe go on a personal trip into the jungle and a personal trip into the mountains.
And you're
as long
perfectly
as I can
located to do
combine
that.
my commercial work with those things, I think that I have a very good job, and I'm very happy with it.
Do you have a message for the people from the West, from the Netherlands, Belgium, or other more?
I have a lot of messages.
Well, you have like half a
No,
minute.
I mean, this is something. Of course, in Europe we are much further in sustainability. But in the end, we also are much further in destroying the world. You know, in consuming. I think a person in Europe consumes a lot more than here in Europe. So sometimes we get people from those countries, and they come and they say, "Ooh, no, I cannot drink this bottle of water because it's in this plastic bottle," or they don't recycle here when we are in a local community. I mean, okay, this is just step by step, but I think we have to look first at ourselves and see how much we are consuming, how much do we really need, and yeah, and of course we have to learn to teach a lot to the Colombian society, but I think Colombia still is way behind the consumption. And
But we can learn a lot from the indigenous people.
I know if we go to the indigenous peoples, yeah, that's another message. I said there's a lot of messages. One of the messages is try to reconnect with the nature where we come from. The nature, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's a nice message to end this conversation.
Yeah,
it's
welcome.
too short, but thank you very much, Thomas.
Okay, bye.
Bye.